If you found this video and you decided to click play, it's most likely a sign that you're ready to leave him. If you are questioning your relationship, is my relationship failing? Should I be breaking up with him? Signs that my partner is toxic. Any type of search that relates to you being in a relationship you're unhappy with, you should probably be asking yourself these 5 things. Number 1, does he make you feel safe? Are you in a relationship with a guy that provides reassurance, validation, and does he truly appreciate you? Maybe giving you a compliment, small acts of service. Is he doing love languages? Is he doing your love language? A man providing you with reassurance and validation in the relationship, not because you're insecure, but because it truly comes from his heart without you having to ask, that is a sign that he is trying to make you feel safe. If you have a man that does none of those things, if he doesn't consistently uplift you as his woman, and you want a man that will uplift you, that will show you appreciation, he may not be in alignment with you. Do you feel safe with him talking about your emotions, your worries, your anxieties? Or when you talk about those things, let's say he did something that made you feel bad, is he constantly taking it personal? Start to guilt trip you? Does he start to make the situation about him and how him hurting you makes him feel terrible and how he doesn't deserve you and how you should just break up with him? Or does it trigger him to be angry? Does he get violent? Does he shout? Does he curse? Does he raise his voice at you? Make sure the man you're with doesn't solely rule from his ego. Make sure his ego isn't fragile. A man that has a fragile ego is going to take offense, or he's going to feel like he can never do anything right. Here's the second thing you should ask yourself. Do you feel stressed or uneasy when you're around him? Anytime you're in a relationship with a man, he should be your peace. He should feel like home. He needs to make you feel at ease. When you notice that you're around him or talking to him, even the thought of him or texting him, do you get stress signals? Do you feel anxious? It could be anxiety. Do you constantly feel like the relationship is hanging by a thread? If you realize that your cortisol is spiking up every time you think about this person, even just thinking about them, if you're around them, if you're sitting in the car beside him, ask yourself, is this how you want to feel in this relationship? Do you want to be with a man that instead helps you decompress, that puts you at ease, that relaxes you? Do you really want to be with someone that instead gives you that feeling of a knotted stomach or a lump in your throat that you can't speak, that you can't show your true self around? If you're with a man and you have emotional distress, if you find that you're constantly crying or arguing, sadness, anger, resentment, bitterness, unforgiveness, or guilt or shame, if those are wounds or feelings that you carry when you're around him, he's probably not going to be the right match for you. And it's probably an extremely toxic situation. If you find that you're always angry, that you're always sad, that you're depressed, these are the only emotions that you feel when you're with this person, and when you think about this person, you know it's time to go. Number 3, are you walking on eggshells when you are around him? Ask yourself if you're able to be your most authentic self. If you are in a relationship with a man that you want to marry one day, are you hiding parts of yourself? It's different when you're hiding a part of yourself, maybe because it's new, maybe you're a little embarrassed, maybe you have some shame and guilt surrounding something in your past. But it's different when you are with a man and you cannot live with him or be with him authentically. Are you authentically yourself with this person? Or are you worried and walking on eggshells that you being your authentic self will set him off, will trigger him? Do you feel like if you do trigger him, he will take it out on you? Because a lot of people can get triggered and they don't allow it to affect the person that they're with, because they can acknowledge the person that they love and care for isn't doing it on purpose. But if he can't differentiate between his trigger and taking it out on you, if he can't realize, okay, this trigger comes from something in my past, let me not take it out on her, let me maybe take a step back, maybe let me explain to her why I'm feeling this way. If he can't healthily communicate with you, as a result, you need to walk on eggshells around him, you need to go. If you're scared to speak up or disagree with him on something, it could be as simple as a little date, or it could be your own morals and values in life. If you cannot have a disagreement and try to come to a compromise, or you guys are able to come to an understanding, and instead it turns into arguments, it turns into resentment, or worse, it can turn into the silent treatment, that is not your man. That is not a healthy man. He is toxic for you. If you're sitting there and you feel like you have to constantly keep things to yourself, your partner, your man is supposed to be the one that you can go to for everything. Yes, we have little things here or there where we just want to keep personal, but if there's something that involves you emotionally or involves the both of you and the health of your relationship, you feel like you can't go to him, the relationship will never prosper. And what'll happen is when you feel like you have to like constantly walk on eggshells around your partner, around your man, and you can't speak up and tell him your feelings and express yourself in a healthy way, you're gonna store it inside of you and you are going to resent him. Because trust me, I've been there. I would keep things to myself, I'd let them build up because I didn't want to cause frustration. I didn't want him to get angry. I didn't want him to feel like everything's his fault. And then I have to sit there and coddle him to feel better. So I would keep it all inside until one day I had had enough, and you eventually you don't even have room to like him anymore. Like you just resent him and you do not want to even be around him. Being sad doesn't get to you. You don't want to reassure him. You can no longer appreciate him because of the resentment that you have inside of you when you know you can't live authentically yourself. It's been proven by science that the highest frequency, it isn't love, it isn't happiness, it's authenticity. Do you really want to be in something where you can't thrive by yourself, where the relationship can't thrive from the two of you because neither of you can live authentically, or you feel like you have to silence yourself for him? The fourth thing that you need to ask yourself, does he lack motivation and ambition? And I want to preface, this isn't just for men. Everyone needs motivation and everyone needs ambition. But if you're in a relationship with a man and he lacks goal setting, he doesn't know what to do, he lacks the ambition to work on the relationship, work on himself to better the relationship, your partnership and your love may not thrive. Everyone has seasons. Everyone has seasons of their ups and downs when they may feel a bit more depressed this time, or they're happier at this point and they're reaching all their goals. Everyone has highs and lows. But if you're with a man that is constantly low, he's going to bring you down. If you find that you're always the one that is pushing him to be better, you're pushing him to apply to that job, you fix up his resume, you look at it so he'll apply, you're pushing him to go to the gym, you're pushing him to eat better, you give him all the reasons and the facts as to why this will be better for him, but he doesn't listen. Or you're met with a disgruntled attitude. Okay, I'll get it done. And it'll kind of make him think that you're nagging instead of motivating him. Because if he doesn't have it within himself, nothing you say will make him change. If you have to consistently be on top of your man so he can get his life moving, you need to think about, how is that going to be in the future? What's going to happen when you have children? When you're early in a relationship, and if you're lucky enough that the only responsibility is just you two, and he's already lacking in that, he can't even get up on his own, he's sleeping till noon, not working, has no goals, doesn't know what he's doing. If you are always pushing him and pushing him, he's using you for your energy. It's your energy and you pushing him that is making him try to move along, to truck along. And that's not fair to you, because all the energy that you're expelling to motivate him, you are losing it for yourself. You're going to put in all your energy into a man that has nothing. So your feminine energy is going all into him and you're left with nothing. He's not gonna have the motivation to pour back into you. You're already forcing him to do all these things that he's not ready for. But what is he gonna do for you? The last thing that you need to ask yourself, number 5, are you banking on his potential? And I really need you to sit on this for a second, because everyone does this in dating, and it's a majority of the reason why relationships fail, especially for women. We see the good in him. We know what he can accomplish. We know that he can be better and that he can change, that he can grow. But ask yourself, if he stayed this way and this was the man I married today, would I be happy? Ask yourself, if it was impossible for him to change or grow, would I still want to be with this person? You need to think on it. If the answer is no, you are banking on his potential, and all you're thinking about is the future of what you think he could be. But maybe that's not in his reality. Just because you have this idea of what you envision for your future, that doesn't mean that he has that. That doesn't mean that he sees that with you or he sees that for himself. Don't allow yourself to invest so much time and energy and love and care into someone because you hope they'll change. Because you have to remember, that's not fair to him either. You're trying to force him to change when he's not ready, and you're trying to say, do this, do that, you can fix this. That's not fair to him. If he's not ready for it and you're forcing him to change, I don't think that's actually love. Yes, you can motivate him, but like we said in the last tip, If he doesn't have that motivation and that growth mindset himself, you're wasting your time. Don't settle for potential. Don't settle for just the bare minimum of a person. You settling for someone because you think they can get better is not fair to you, and it's not fair to him. It's not fair to you because you are going to have to constantly put in the energy and the work on one person that doesn't even want it. And that's why it's not fair to him. He doesn't want this. If he doesn't want it, then why are you gonna force him into it? Why are you gonna force him into a mold that he does not fit? Maybe it's just not his time yet. And you have to learn and accept that and ask yourself, could I be with this person for the rest of my life if he never changed? Okay, ladies, I really hope that you enjoyed that video. I had a really good time making it. I was very, very emotional, I guess, during it. I had a lot of emotion behind it, and it was so fun to talk about. If you ladies have any questions or concerns, please leave them below. I love hearing from you guys. And remember to check out all my other social media. It'll be linked down below. And I will see you ladies in the next one. Bye.